Join me on the Boundless Bond podcast, where non-duality meets manifesting.
Hello, beloveds. Welcome back to another one of Marnie's musings. Today, we're talking about Out of This World, which is Neville Goddard's 6th book. And I'm here with Tanya.
Hi, everybody.
AKA The Oracle. And we are excited to dig into this. We were talking about, this book a little bit before we sat down. And I really liked this book because, again, I think I said this before, I really like the how-to. And this gets into some of the, some more tangible how-to. And so I really liked this one as well. I mean, I like them all. But first question I have is around the idea of the fourth dimension. So, which Neville kind of introduces that topic in this book. This is kind of really the first place he talks about it thus far from what I've read. And with, we understand we live in the three-dimensional world, right? We understand the height, width, and what are the three dimensions? Height, width, and
Depth.
Thank you. How do you interpret the fourth dimension?
Imagination, your inner world. That being the one and true reality. Because it's God.
Yeah.
So that is real. But again, people place the power out here.
Well, and it's the real that we can't experience with our senses, right?
So how do you experience the 4D?
I don't know.
You never thought about something and cried or laughed? Or felt it in your stomach?
100%.
Okay.
All the time. So I guess yes.
Or you see it, you visualize it?
Yeah. We, in this three-dimensional world, in this society that we live in, think about imagination very differently than how Neville talks about it. We think about it more as play or fantasy or,
Daydreaming?
Yeah. Something for kids, but definitely, as you're an adult, it's just kind of something that
it's suppressed.
I think one of the things that people struggle with in using their imagination as their creative force is that they may be able to imagine something, but then their mind will wander and they'll immediately they can't stay disciplined about it. That's one of the other things that Neville talks about, and I hope it's in this book, is the discipline factor with all of this in getting to your desired state. So that sort of intersection of imagination and discipline, I see as kind of the key to this work. And what I mean by the key to this work, I think for people who are new to it, I think. It doesn't necessarily work like a one and done thing.
So I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because Neville said somewhere in one of his books that the reason and I'm paraphrasing here, guys, the reason you don't experience something or manifest something, whatever, is because you don't believe it to be true. So you can imagine something once and accept it, and it could show up right before your eyes.
That's true.
Any and everything is possible. But the biggest, I think, schism is not accepting it. Because again, people want to see the proof in the 3D.
Yeah. You can't be validated by the 3D.
It's only going to confirm
what
you've already accepted to be true.
Right. So maybe it's not necessary. So it's not necessarily about discipline.
Well, what are you thinking discipline is?
I'm thinking discipline is returning, the ability to continuously return to the state, or to the ability to continuously or to repeatedly put yourself in the state.
So what I'm hearing, right, by you're saying putting yourself continuously in the state would imply that you're continuously out of it.
Oh, not necessarily continuously, but
well, how do you put yourself in
it
something that you're in?
By imagining that your desire has been fulfilled. You're
Okay.
in the state of the desire being fulfilled.
Okay.
So let's just say I'm manifesting something, a new business opportunity, a new client opportunity or something.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm imagining, the client work being done or whatever that desired state is, or whatever that outcome of that desired state is that I'm imagining,
Okay.
right? I go to sleep that night. The next day, I get up, nothing's changed. I don't have a new client.
Mm-hmm.
I've fallen out of, I'm back in that client doesn't exist state.
Okay.
So I'm getting real tactical here, but I don't know.
No, that's good. Let's continue with this. So let's say that were the truth, right?
Mhm.
What indications would you have that you were out of the state? What is telling you that you're not in the state of this thriving business owner?
I don't have a client on the books for the week, or I don't have inquiries coming in,
Okay.
or whatnot. The client acquisition pathways are
Okay.
not working.
All right. So that would confirm to you that you're not thriving. Okay. All right. So you open whatever, maybe your emails, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
And you see that
Yep.
everything is still wide open,
Yep.
right? What's your reaction?
Shit. Everything's wide open.
Okay. Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
That is what tells you what your state is.
Yes.
Not what's out there.
Yes. Got it.
All right. So let me be clear. Your reaction and responses to things are always, always, always directly proportional to the state that you're in.
Okay.
Because the clients are there. You're just not seeing them.
Right.
You can't see them in the state of, I'm a failing business.
Right.
You're not going to see that.
Right.
So again, if we don't change the state of consciousness, then they will remain to be unseen.
Okay.
So I think the next I don't know. The logical question would be, well, then how do I get back into that state? Because you've decided that you've come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because even a thriving business owner can look at their calendar and stay shit.
100%. Right.
Right?
Right.
So clearly somewhere in between there, we've decided that we are a failing business.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So how do you get yourself back into the state of being a thriving
business owner? I mean, going back to imagining being a thriving business owner, I guess.
Right. And this is where tools
Yeah.
really come in handy.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want people out there to put those tools on a pedestal
Yeah.
and think that those tools are what manifest. They are to help you to get back into the state.
Right. The tools don't manifest,
The tools do not manifest.
Right.
But I don't want to sit here and blow smoke up people's asses that, I completely understand seeing whatever you see out there and reacting to that.
Right. Right.
Right?
It's very normal. Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, we can always course correct.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yep.
And if you just notice the thought, be aware of it, don't become the thought.
Right.
And then bring yourself back.
Yeah. It's our reaction that takes us out of the state. But it's easy to get into that loop of feeling like that makes you a failing business owner. It's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the challenge, I think. I think that's what I mean by discipline,
Mm-hmm.
is that ability to consistently move ourselves back into that state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by discipline.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I think that's what is hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would guess I'm probably not alone in that. Like,
No, you're not.
We just kind of automatically revert to things, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
But I'm all about giving grace. And
Yeah.
Another loopy thing about this reality, like people think that, and this is something I've been really going deep with my own mentor, is that one moment indicates what's going to happen in the next,
Yeah.
right? When really reality is like a flip book. Remember they had, those old time cartoons and, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So when you flip it fast enough, it really does
moves.
look like it's linear.
Uh-huh.
But really, everything is like that one page.
Yeah. Yeah.
The moment that happened before doesn't indicate what's going to happen in this.
Yeah.
But our human mind wants to make things linear and link them all together.
Right. That makes me think about Neville talks about the fourth dimension, and he talks about how all future outcomes exist. That's another thing that I think is hard for the human mind to grasp because it's a nonlinear. It's a nonlinear thing as well. Kind of messed up that God made our minds that way, huh? To not understand this very clearly. Make it more difficult for us. Or more challenging and fun.
For us and for him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're all that is.
Yeah, right?
You need some variety, right?
Right? I guess. Neville in this book says imagination is the creative power behind creating the life that we want, right? Like, how do you think I'm just wondering, how do you think he got there? Like, how do you think he got to that interpretation?
I think
Does he ever get into that in future lectures or books or anything?
Yes.
Okay.
And I won't give too much. I mean, I don't think he says it explicitly, but again, quoting scripture, and what he says is to stop being a hearer of the word and a doer. People listen, I love Neville all day and stuff of this ilk. I'll read all day. But at some point you have to put the metal to the pedal and do the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Do the work. So see it for yourself. Right? And I think it's in some lecture, I don't think it's in one of his books, when he first started speaking to audiences, he would give them, and it's very popular. Everybody knows about the ladder experiment. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
Is this where you climb the ladder?
Right.
You imagine yourself climbing the ladder? Yeah.
And he was like, if you climb the ladder, come back. If you don't, then, whatever. And virtually everybody came back. Right. So you have to put this into practice, and then you will see it.
Yeah. In this book, he gets into his way of creating, essentially, or manifesting. And the way he describes his method is, and he talks about the state akin to sleep, a deep, relaxed state. First and foremost, know exactly what it is that you want. And I guess there are different ways to define that or understand that. A lot of people say write it down. Other people, you just have to think about it, whatever it is, right? So understand exactly what it is that you want to create. Get into a very relaxed state, and imagine a scenario that is the outcome of that desired state. Right? So if it is, a big new client, the outcome of that desired state is you're on a conference call with that client, maybe. Right?
Or we're bopping around in your G-Wagon.
Or you're bopping around in your G-Wagon that you bought with that money from that new client. Right? So, or it could be that, right? But get into that memory or create that. Oh, I called it a memory.
No, high five.
Girl, I know. Are you proud of me?
I am so proud.
I listened to you.
Proud.
I listened to you.
So proud.
Think about it as a memory.
Because it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Look at you, Marnie.
So he doesn't say that, but I just said that. But he says,
you go, girl.
So imagine that outcome experience, right? And, imagine what is being said, imagine.
Hold on, let me pause right there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I need to highlight what Marnie just said. No, because because when you think of something as a memory, you've accepted it's already happened,
Mhm.
right? So I really want you to pause where she said this and really just, no, seriously, and ingest that. Because when we think of it as the future, that also puts some,
It's a hack.
separation, right? But if you think of it as a memory, then you know it's already happened.
Yeah.
So do what be Marnie. Okay, continue.
Yeah, the memory thing's a hack. It is.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, trying to steal my thunder.
See, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Marnie does not coach you guys.
And I think, he says get specific about it, but just keep like returning to that. Essentially, is kind of how he talks about it.
Okay.
In this book,
Mhm.
in this particular book. But in doing that,
Mhm.
that scenario
Mhm.
will harden into fact in the 3D. So what I'm wondering is that space maybe between, or that time between, that space maybe between when we're imagining our desired state and when that desired state manifests.
Okay.
What's happening there?
Okay.
I guess is my question.
Okay. If I can rephrase, I think what you're asking is, we're talking about SATs, right? The state akin to sleep.
Yep.
Right. So when you do this and then it pictures out there.
Yes.
What you do in the in-between time.
Yes. That
Okay.
is. Yes.
So first of all, nothing.
And you just said it much quicker and more succinct than I did.
No. Because I feel like you represent the people out there who are new to this, right? Or who maybe don't understand it. So, that's however you ask, that's fine.
That's what I'm here to do.
Yes. So a few things I want to talk about SATs. Very powerful. Absolutely very powerful. The scene does not equal the state. Okay. And I can talk from experience, right? Where something I have visualized in SATs has happened to the T, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was still not in the state of the person who would possess that thing.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
So it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? People get caught up in the mechanics of the visuals,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know if it's because Neville talks about SATs quite a bit throughout his books, and he talks about, using as many senses as you can. Maybe every time you loop it, you add something else. People get so caught up in the mechanics and the visuals of this that they want it to look like some 4K movie, right? It's really the feeling behind it. And why I so stress that it's to experience it. Like it should feel like you are there.
Yeah.
Right? And you are that person.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like, again, this 4K looking thing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because like I said, the state is the scene is never going to outperform the state that you were in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So now let's just pretend you are that person doing this scene, right? Like, so don't do what I did. So you loop this, and it could be more than one night, right? I'm just according to what Neville is saying, right?
Yeah.
Until it feels like you were truly, truly, truly there. And you've accepted
and you
it.
feel it.
And you feel it.
Yeah.
Like there is no question
Yeah.
that this is the absolute truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just trying to think from my own example.
And
Not too long ago, I was imagining this new house that I want to buy. And I literally felt the tiles. And I'm not a visual person. Let's just be clear, right? I mean, I'm fine with my level of visual ability, right? Because again, it's not about the visuals. Like I'm like, God knows what I'm trying to see,
Right.
So, but I could feel the cold tile in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I could feel the marble on the counter. Like it was the spookiest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
right? To the point where I'm like, it's done.
Yeah.
That is my house.
Yeah.
Right? So however long it takes is however long it takes. Like, it could be one night, it could be just one loop,
Right.
right? Don't, like, crucify yourself if it takes a while, right? But doing that over and over, again, however long it takes, you will come to a point of this satisfaction
That it's done.
it's just done.
It'll just feel that it'll feel like it's done.
It's feel like it's done.
Yeah. Okay.
And you probably won't even feel like returning to that anymore.
Because it's done. You don't need to. Right. I think something important here is the ability to understand what feelings are going on in our body.
Yes. Yes.
Again, I think in modern society, we're very disconnected from our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
We're in our heads. We're on autopilot. Things like anxiety and excitement, they're the exact same somatic feelings for the most part.
Mm.
Like, in your body, they feel very similar.
Okay.
Butterflies in the stomach, heart racing, they can feel very similar. And maybe not directly related, but I do think another tool that can maybe help with this type of work is to get more connected to your body, either via breath work, yoga, other type of practices, stretching, stuff like that, so that we are more connected to our body and can more easily access those feelings.
I have a very biased opinion because I'm a very somatic person. So I feel everything.
Yeah.
And I know what those feelings are. So I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. I was a dancer as a child, like all through.
Oh, like Neville.
Yeah, all through. As a little kid, started when I was 3, did ballet, tap, jazz, all of that. Ended up like doing competition dancing and like I taught for a while and stuff. So like but then I got in a car accident, hurt my back. Haven't danced since, essentially, other than, like goofing around the house or, out at the club. So, but I was a dancer, so I was always in tune with my body. But then after I was in the car accident and I stopped for a while and everything, I got very out of tune with my body, very in my head with, my career and whatnot. And I think I got very disconnected. And like 4 or 5 years ago, I started doing yoga, and I'm obsessed with it, essentially. So that's kind of got me back into it, or back into that, ability to be more in touch with my body and how I feel and understanding those feelings and everything. So, and it's one of the things that I use to kind of help when I'm feeling anxious thoughts and whatnot. It's like, well, is this really anxiety or is this excitement about something? There are a lot of feelings that are very similar, and it's truly how we interpret them or at least how I interpret them.
I would imagine, much like Neville, being a trained dancer, that embodiment wouldn't be difficult for you.
It wasn't up until I had my car accident and just essentially like stopped dancing. And then I think at that same time, it was when my advertising career kind of really took off and I just kind of abandoned that part of myself.
Okay, so why are you still telling yourself that same story?
It's a good question.
That could be your homework.
I think that is my homework.
Okay.
I think that's my homework. I just got my homework. But yeah, but back to that, I do think that that's an important distinction because, You have to understand the feeling, even if you haven't experienced the thing that you want yet. You have to be able to get yourself in the feeling of having it.
Mm-hmm.
You do know what it feels like
Yeah.
to be happy. You do know what it feels like to have a feeling of accomplishment. You do know what it feels like to get good news. You do, because we have all experienced that once in our life. It's just the ability to go back there when all of these other feelings may be buzzing around throughout
Right.
our bodies. That is the challenge.
Like somebody said to me recently, life has just always been hectic. Like, I don't know what it feels like to be relieved. I'm like, really? You never been constipated? You never had a full bladder? No, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but
No,
like that
it's true,
relief
yeah.
of like, when you
That's
finally get in
relief.
the house
Yeah.
to use the bathroom, it's still relief.
That is relief.
Right? Or if you
relief.
haven't gone in a few days and, whatever, it's like, it's still relief.
It is.
It's not specific to a situation.
Right.
Relief is relief.
Right.
So just pretend your bladder's full.
Yeah. Yeah. There
And
you go.
Just went to the bathroom.
There's relief. Is that the biggest thing that you see in working with people, that they struggle with this, is just that they're overcomplicating it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because this law it's simple.
Yeah.
So simple that people can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, there has to be more. I have to do more. It can't be just this easy. Well, it is this easy because your life, the law works regardless of whether or not you understand it, much like gravity.
Right.
We're all not floating around just because, we can't spout out the equation for gravity.
Right.
I mean, it keeps us grounded, literally, right?
Right.
So your whole life has been the law anyway.
Right. Right.
Being easily triggered by the 3D, what's going on.
Yeah.
Returning to the old stories, not accepting things as being true now, putting these techniques on a pedestal. Oh, I have to affirm 10,000 times a day. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to poo-poo things that people do, but again, it doesn't come down to the technique. It comes down to you.
Right. Or to what you said earlier, the tools can help you get into the state, but if you're not getting in the state.
And I've been there.
Right.
So while it's very cool to see something happen that you visualized and whatever, you still want it to resonate with you, but it's going to resonate with the state that you were in.
Right.
Right. We get what we are, not what we want.
Yeah. Which is another, goes back to the whole idea of prayer, right? The whole idea of asking this God outside of us for something that's not believing that's what we are.
Correct.
Right.
So you'll continue to see more of that.
Right. Do you think another thing that people struggle with this a lot is the whole, talked about earlier, like Tanya is not God. God is living through Tanya, right? Is it the fear of that idea? Like, can that play into it at all, right? Like the actual fear of having that power.
I think so.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, you don't have to believe that
Right.
to be successful in this law. Because when Neville started talking about that stuff, his viewership dropped significantly. But we hear about it more and more because people are, reading the whole scope of Neville. I just have so many questions. Like I think I have more questions than answers. And I don't want to like challenge anybody outside of what they think, right?
Yeah.
Because some people are very comfortable in this dual, God's out there, I'm here. And that is fine.
Yeah.
You like it, I love it, okay? And I mean that. But I just don't understand that if you say that God is omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing, then when you're doing something in the corner that you don't like, you don't think God's a part of that? Like, I don't understand. Like, where do you think God has disappeared to?
Right.
When you're sitting there beating yourself up.
Right.
And omnipresent, I forgot that, right? So God's supposed to be everywhere.
Right.
but he must have blinked a little too long when you were doing this thing over. Like, maybe somebody, no, seriously, maybe somebody can help me out. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And the Bible also says that God is closer than near. So where do you think he is if he's closer than near?
Right.
So I have questions.
So do I.
questions. So, but I think that makes people very uncomfortable because, again, the ego goes to, that means Tanya saying that she's God. Never have I ever.
No. Why do you think it's so hard for people to turn off their senses to the 3D?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think just conditioning, right? Because it's like what you see is what you get. You know, we've heard things like that before. And that's where we've been sort of trained to get the feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But as selfish as I think humans can, and I don't mean that I'm speaking objectively, right? Because even if you get a good feeling out of doing something for somebody else, you still get that good feeling. So there's always an element of selfishness in everything that we do, right?
Yeah.
But to really understand that this all comes back to self, right? People don't want to shine the light on themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And to understand that what you're seeing is a byproduct of who you've consented yourself to be, right? It can be a very hard pill to swallow. Because then we get into the blame game of, well, this happened, that happened, and da-da-da-da-da. So, you know, it goes down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
So the 3D, paying attention to what's out there, which I hate to even say out there in there, but again, that's a whole other conversation. Again, reinforces that separation, that illusion of separation, right? Because there is something and someone else to blame when this is not looking the way you want it to.
Right.
And this is where I come back to.
And that's easier.
You know, I feel like I'm resurrecting the Inquisitions here, but I think about, like, you know, the book of Job, right? Where the poor man lost everything. Okay, everything. And he was complaining. He was lamenting. He cursed the day he was born. But one thing he said that has helped me is, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Right? And because of that faith that Job had, he was restored double of what he lost. Now, I'm not saying life has to look like one big calamity, right?
Right.
But he wasn't, even though he complained about it, so he acknowledged what he saw.
Right.
But he wasn't accepting that.
Right.
Because he knew the God that he served.
It's the thoughts. Like, can your thoughts really move you in a different state, right? Right?
It didn't overpower his faith.
He had bad thoughts.
Right.
But they didn't overpower his faith.
Yes. Right. He was a whiny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, he was definitely complaining a lot.
But it was not stronger than his faith.
Right. 100%.
Right. So, and again, I'm not saying everybody has to have a life of Job, right? But I'm saying that your faith has to be stronger than what you see out there.
Yeah.
And it tells you to walk by faith and not by sight.
Yes. Yeah.
So you can acknowledge stuff, but you don't have to accept it as being final.
Right. Which goes back to the story about your family member. You acknowledged it. You had to have very human conversations about it with doctors and whatnot and everything, but you never accepted it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
If you can remember, what were your greatest takeaways?
The idea of every possibility existing.
So creation is finished.
And the SATS tool, essentially. Like how, like the explanation of how to do that, I think is probably the biggest, like, benefit of this book, I think, was that description. That, and if you'll let me read this. He has a bar in this book that I loved. In fact, I made it.
Where are we?
This is on It's the last page of Out of This World,
What's the page number?
198. And I was like, I read it to Pete. I was like, you need to hear this.
Oh, no one to change but self. Okay. Where are we?
So 198, 1, 2, 3, fourth paragraph from the bottom. If we could become as emotionally aroused over our ideals as we become over our dislikes, we would ascend to the plane of our ideal as easily as we now descend to the level of our hates. I was like, ooh, preach.
That's a mic drop.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I say it's an equal amount of energy, right? To invest in, if you remember, like maybe you're single girl, when you were single or whatever. Oh, so-and-so, he ain't text me, blah, 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 blah. Where's he at? He's out cheating. He's out doing this. Where that poor man probably just taking a nap after a long day of work.
Right.
Right? But we have assumed
Right.
that he's out there, banging this one and the third.
Yep.
And then when it does happen, if it does happen, right, then you want to start, with the rah-rah and getting, upset. But you've already accepted and declared that this man is no good.
Right.
So when he shows you that, why are you complaining?
Right. You accepted it.
But it was so easy to get there.
Yeah.
As opposed to the ideal.
Right. We descend very quickly. Yes. And on that note, is there anything you would like to promote?
Still stuff coming up, but right now what's on the table is, the single sessions. Somebody wants a one-off session. I am more than happy to do that now because I was getting a lot of requests and, I see the value in what people see the value in.
Yeah. All right. What's next up? Do we know? What's the next book?
I don't know.
In line.
I can't wait till you get to like the power of awareness. Did we do that one?
We haven't done the power of awareness yet.
And the law and the promise. I think
the law and the promise, you told me, you're really going to love that one.
A lot of people love that one.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like just examples and stuff in there.
Maybe that's next. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what's next.
And I know I promised, and I'm gonna do that. My podcast, without the magnificent Marnie, on out of thin air manifesting and deeper dive into revision.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
When are you gonna do those? Look, I'm gonna hold her to it.
Look at her holding me. Oh my! Embarrassing me on camera.
What kind of producer would I be if I didn't?
You know what I'm saying? So my intention is to do that today.
Yay! I mean, you look fabulous. You should record.
I should.
Yeah.
Are you saying that I don't look fabulous when I'm not dressed
up? No,
up?
but you look fabulous today. You look especially fabulous today.
I think Marnie's trying to diss me, guys.
No, it's the bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair.
If I didn't plug it before, I got these from LL Cool J's wife, Simone I. Smith. Has a fabulous, fabulous jewelry line. So,
and ladies love Cool James.
Yes. He's aged wonderfully.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
All right. Bye.
Bye, beloveds.
Join me on the Boundless Bond podcast, where non-duality meets manifesting.